have anybody to record. But this is the ending of the shirt. So this is the final product. Has the elastic at the bottom. If you notice, there's the slit. That's what makes it easy for us to add the elastic later if your daughter doesn't have it. But it's got the elastic on the sleeves. That's the undershirt. We're going to go ahead and move on to the dress. One thing I did before we started, this is the lining. It's the lighter blue. You just put the interfacing. There's a side that it has kind of like bumps on it. That is the iron side. So you're going to put the bumpy side towards the lining, and then on a very, very low setting, otherwise the lining will melt. Just very, very, very low setting. I put mine on between 2 and 3, which is really low, no steam. And you just go until you kind of, instead of having bumps on it, like, I don't know if you can even see this, but like this part didn't completely melt to it. So there's still little bumps, whereas this part's more clear. That's how you can tell when the bumps are melted. It's not that big of a deal. You just need to get it mostly stuck to the fabric. Okay? So I did that ahead of time, and I just lined everything. So with the skirt itself, there's 4 pieces. Pretty simple. You're just going to line up all 4 pieces, and you're just going to create a big circle. You should have a couple of pins. I've tried to pin everybody's where the zipper goes. So that's the zipper in the front. So that's why they're pinned together. So you know the front and the back. So this is going to be the front. And so I'm just going to, where the zipper goes, I'm not going to sew. Actually, don't even sew the front at all until after it's completely done. So this is the other side of the front. So I'm going to put that in the very back, taking the 2 sides, meeting to the 2 sides of the other piece. So I'm just going to take and sew those together, straight stitch all the way down. So it's pretty simple. Just go ahead and straight stitch, and I'm going to pause it because those other videos were quite long and you don't need to watch me sew. So that's how you do it. You just match those together, the 2 sides, and on. Once you get all of them completely sewn together except for the front, here's the front. We're just not going to sew those. I serged the edge, but that's just me. Okay, once you get all of that completely done, the skirt is basically done. At that point, you're going to take the top and you're going to do a basting stitch all the way along the top of the skirt, because that is the waist and it's going to attach to the bodice. Okay, so you're going to do a lot of gathering to get that completely ready, because it's going to go from that. Oh, I should bring my daughters over here. That is going to be the dress. The only thing left on the dress is the zipper and the bottom when it comes to the red. Then you're going to take and pin together your 4 bodice pieces. So you have all of your lining, and you do this same thing. So you're going to do the front goes with, I didn't put the markers. Okay, so this side had the pins on it. So that's the zipper front. And then, actually I need to verify that. So the zipper front goes, that's where the zipper goes in the front. Then you're going to put the right sides together. You're going to line up the bottom where the waist is. You're going to start from there, because the top, a lot of times there's a small gathering just right at the top, kind of making tucks for their bust line. This one's just a little teeny tuck. So you go all the way straight, flat, up to about 2-3 inches. And then you just kind of pin those together and get that. So it goes, this is how it's going to look. Then you do the side piece, which these 2 pieces go together. Put the side together. Again, start at the bottom, tuck. Once you get up close to the top, you're going to start tucking, making a very small pucker for the bust line. Then the curved edge goes to the center back. And this is the same with the lining and the bodice. So you're going to do 2. Basically, you're going to have an inside layer and an outside layer. And I have one of them that is halfway completed, which I'll show you in just a sec. Again, you start at the bottom. You go up. This one you only go up about 4 inches from the bottom. And then you're going to match this little, you can't really tell very well on some of them. There is about a 5/8 seam cut that's flat. That is going to line up to the 5/8 seam here where it's cut flat and then goes up to the shoulder piece. So you're going to lay those two together and pin them. And then you're going to start, again, this is all going to be gathered. You don't really have to gather it. You can just go in the center, pin it, and then pin it so that it's going to have some pins where you're basically tucking. And it works better when you kind of turn the material like that to be able to fit it in, and then you pin it really well so it's kind of a gathered, giving that little puck for the back line. Same on, and then you go the other half, the curved side, then this piece attached to the other side of the curve, and then the other side of the zipper. Remember, the zipper is the one that has the 2 pins here. So you'll see right here. So make sure you keep those marks on your material even after you iron them. I took them off, so I'll have to reline them up. Make sure I'm getting the right sides. That has the zipper part. So keep those in mind because that's the zipper. Once you get that shell done, which I have a shell right here, you're gonna attach the two together. I didn't have Alex's skirt, so I couldn't put her skirt on before doing the lining. Typically, you do the outer shell, you sew it together, okay? It's the shiny side out is the right side. You're going to gather the skirt up, and you're going to pin it to the bodice. Now, the lines that you can match up with, quarter of the skirt is the waist lines, which are right underneath the arms. So you're going to have 2 pieces in front, two pieces in back, and so you're going to line the halfway mark. So you're going to have 2 seams on the sides, and 1 seam in the front where the zipper goes, and 1 seam directly in the middle back, which is the center fold. So if you pin those parts and then gather between, it's really, really tight. There's a lot of material to make that skirt, so it's going to be a really, really tight gather, and so you're going to probably have a lot of pins. I did when I did mine. So you're going to gather the skirt, and I did that first before I went further, but since I didn't have Alex's skirt, I just did the whole bodice. I did the same thing. If you notice, I did the exact same thing. Basically, you have 2 shirts. Then you're going to attach them together, which I can't show you because I've already got this together. So I was able to get these sewn. So this is the actual bodice part. Got all the pieces sewn, and I actually serged it together so that I could do it. Then you have the lining with the interfacing on it. You get the exact same thing. This is going to end up being the bodice. Showed you the skirt already. And then what I've done is I've created a basting stitch that I can then pull from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the skirt to the bodice first. So you're going to put the right sides together. And what you do is you just pin on the sections that are going to be together. So I'm going to do right on the edge, and then I'll just do the quarter or the halves. Sorry, I can't talk. Anyways, so at 2 is the waist. So I'm going to go to the first seam and pin it at the waist. You make sure you fold the seams over so that they're flat. And then I'm going to do the other waist on the other side. I'm going to do the edge and the waist. So I'll go all the way around to this other half of the front, which is right here. Put that on the other side where the zipper is going to go. And then 2 equals the first seam. You don't need the lining for a minute. Okay, and then the middle seam in the back is going to be right in between, there's that folded piece. It's right on the fold of the middle back piece. So I'm just going to put that there. So now I have a guide of where I'm going to start gathering the stitch. So once I get this gathered and all pinned together, I'll come back on and show you some more. Okay, so once you gather everything together, you do a straight stitch. So you just go through and you just attach the two together with a straight stitch. You just fold it like that, sew it down, all the way down and around, so that you have it completely gathered and the two pieces are together. So now you just have the bodice and the skirt, and then now we'll attach the lining. Okay, we need to do the zipper next, actually. It's before the lining. So before you put the zipper in, you need to put in the yellow belt. I made two so far and forgot and had to undo it. So you put it so it's lining right up against the red and the blue, so there's no blue is showing. And what I discovered is the ribbon may not be long enough that we sent home with everybody. If that's the case, once you get to this part, stop. Otherwise, we'll have to undo and to put the yellow ribbon on. So we will pass out new yellow ribbon if yours does not fit your daughter's costume, because it needs to go flat all the way across from one side to the other side. And you just line it up with the edge so that it can go underneath the zipper, and then you just put it right along the blue and red edge. So you're going to just pin it in there, and then you're going to set up the zipper. Now this is a hidden zipper, so I don't know if you, if you've done hidden zippers, then you probably know how to do it. So otherwise, you open up the zipper, and it's kind of counterintuitive. So if you are looking at it with it zipped up, you're putting the right sides together, so the zipper against the material, and you're putting so that the back side is showing, and you're going to put it towards the right side of the material. So when you flip it over, it actually opens up the zipper. So that's how it's going to go on. So you put it right below the edge of it and go right along. I give like not even a millimeter of space against it, and I just pin the zipper on and then go from there. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it, but you're gonna pin along the side on the zipper. We're not using the entire zipper, but we are gonna use most of it. We'll stop about to here. So you're gonna pin all the way down. I did sew mine all the way down to the end, but then I did a seam across the bottom of it, the part that we're not using that low. So you're going to pin it so that it's just, I don't know if you can even see that, but there's just a little bit on the edge, and you just go right down the edge like that, and you pin it down. So that's what we're going to do. Once you get this side done, then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to put the other half of it, face it against you need to flip it completely around. So again, the zipper part is against the right side, and put the edge of this side now, and the zipper is against the right side of the material. And you're going to put it just right at the top and come down, do the same thing, pin it down here, and you're going to go all the way down. Okay? Then you're going to use a zipper foot. Some sewing machines have a hidden zipper foot. I don't. I just have a regular zipper foot, and so you're going to go right down along, putting the foot against right underneath it so that the seam goes right down against the zipper. So when you flip it over, I'll then show you how we're going to create a little bit of flap to cover up the rest of the zipper, because obviously this blue does not match, and it doesn't match the red, so we want it 100% hidden. And to do that, we add a little bit of extra material to close up and seal up that zipper part to cover it up.